serve God and be responsible for the building of what God wanted him to do. What about King Solomon, David's son? When you think about Solomon, you think about wisdom. You think about knowledge. But also, when you think about the name Solomon, you think about somebody who loved the ladies. Somebody who walked away from God. Somebody who became an idol worshiper. Somebody who would allow his women, or was influenced by the ladies. What about the Virgin Mary, the name Mary? I think about the mother of Jesus. I think about a young girl. I think about the name brings to mind somebody who watched her son being crucified, being killed, but still having enough faith to believe that he was going to rise again on the first day. What about Mary Magdalene? We know some of the Marys here. She was a prostitute. She was a harlot. She was somebody who had 7 demons cast out of her. But also when you think about Mary, you think about somebody who was faithful to Christ. Somebody who was there on the first day when he rose. Somebody who was willing to get out and wash his feet with the tears to anoint him. When I think about Mary Magdalene. What about Thomas? Y'all know old Doubting Thomas. Unless I see him for myself, unless I stick my finger in his wounds, unless I see the nail print on his hands, I would not believe him. See, we've got some Doubting Thomases here today. We've got some people who even doubt the power of God. Because God took you out of that situation. So why don't we not believe that God can take us out of the next situation? He delivered you out of that storm and that trial out of your life. So if he did it before, who's to say that he's not going to do it again? That's right. What about Judas? I know we don't have no Judases in the house. That friend that will walk up to you and kiss you, but still stab you in the back. Somebody who would sell you out for 30 pieces of silver. Somebody who would go up behind your back with your enemies and try to get you. Peter. The rock. He was bold. Sometimes he even stuck his foot in his mouth. He spoke his mind. But what I like about Peter is that he didn't have a problem of telling you how he felt about a situation. Sometimes it even got him in trouble. But also Peter denied Christ. But yet Peter still was a leader. He was a shepherd. What about Saul? Somebody who persecuted the church. A man who was wise, wisdom, considered himself as being the chief sinner. He was radical. See, what happens when we out in the world? We're radical. We at the club on Friday night and Saturday nights. You can't get us off the dance floor. We would drink you up under the table. We wanted to party with the best of them. When we left one club, we went to the after party. That's what we did when we was out in the world. But once we get saved, we want to come into the church and we want to sit on our do-nuts. You got to beg us in order to serve God. You got to track us down to try to get us to come to the house of God. What happened to us? Why can't we have that same mentality of being radical when it comes to Jesus? But he was a changed man. He persecuted. But now he was persecuted for his beliefs in Christ Jesus. So I ask you the question today. What is your name? I don't mean the name that your mom and daddy gave you. But when people call your name, or when people say your name, or the name that you answer to, what is your name? What do people think about when they say your name, or when they hear your name? Do they think about that sister somebody? Do they think about that's a pastor, that's an evangelist? Or do they think about, oh, that's just the wino down the street? Or that's just a woman who walks the road? Or do they think about that's just somebody who's going to try to con you or swindle you out of something? What is your name?